Hi traders and welcome to the PL Capital Commodity Report. Today is Wednesday, September 6th. It's 2:40 Central Time. Markets are still open. So I'm doing this video a little bit early, but don't anticipate any dramatic changes in this last hour of trading. So we're going to look at natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium. So let's go. All right, looking at the 4-hour chart of natural gas, the futures contract. And what I see so far anyway is we got three waves down, had that impulse correction up, and now we've got five waves down. I've got five waves, and we broke that low that they set on the 24th of August. So as of right now, this is a 335, and that could be a correction for one more up. So definitely, if you're a bull, you're looking at this and you got to be thinking that was 1, 2, 3, and then you got 1, 2, 3, and there's at least one more up. So that's what the bulls are looking at. Now, I've been looking at this, that we have this triangle over here, and I think that we go down to break the low. So 1, 2, 3, that was 1, 3 up for 2, and now you got five waves, so that's just a leading diagonal, the third wave. But definitely this trade, this is very doable, because regardless of whether you're a bull or a bear, it has to go up, because we got five waves down. Now this fifth wave, they might extend it down farther, but for right now anyway, I've got five, and it looks like they kind of started to push up, came back down, didn't break the low. I would anticipate them coming up to at least 2588, at least. So for short-term traders, or even if you're bullish, you could definitely get in, and you should be able to get to a point where it gets high enough that you can at least set your trade to break even. So if I'm wrong, they'll come up and take out that high, the 3-1 high. And then that's not a triangle, and then there's something else going on here. But that's should be a risk-free trade if you're a bull. If you're bearish and you think that that's 1 and that's 2, then you got to wait to sell if you're not already in, because you're going to have some type of correction coming up, and then one more down, break that low that they set today, 2503, break that, and then that'll be 3. So this area will be real interesting. This like, what did I say, 2588, 264. I would expect somewhere in there that the price would get rejected if it's going to go down. And then if it does and comes back and takes out that 2503, then I think we're on our way. I mean, we're really close anyway to breaking that low then. But that would be three ways down, and I think they're coming down in an ending diagonal. So 1, 2, and then that'd be 3. So keep an eye on this area. That'll be real crucial for both the bulls and the bears. But for short term, I think it's definitely viable for a quick trade, if nothing else. Oil. All right, oil is getting really, really bullish. So I was expecting that they were making, that was the previous high, and I thought they were, and I still believe, I got to change this, that they're in a WXY, this was X, and now they're going up for the Z. And in my last video, I said, I got leading diagonal, want a correction, and then one more up, and then somewhere, anywhere up here, it could reverse and come all the way down. But suddenly this has turned into a really big impulse now. So I still have leading diagonal, but then there's this running flat, So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I thought that this was 5 because it looks like there's a little like 1, 2, and I thought a big 3, 4, and 5. So I thought this whole impulse was in, because for this Z wave we need 3 waves. So I thought that was the impulse. That was 1. Get a correction down into like this zone and then go up one more time. But they just made this little baby correction, and then they went up and broke it this afternoon, previous high, by literally 1 penny, 88.08. So I'm thinking now that the 5th wave isn't in yet. And so they're probably making an ending diagonal. So 1, 2, 3. That's the first wave of the 5th wave. And then here's 3 waves. That's 2. Here's, I still think 3's got to go a little bit higher than just breaking it by 1 penny. But I don't think the 3rd wave is totally in yet. And then you get a 4, and then you get a 5. And then I think at that point, this whole wave up will get a correction. So we'll have to wait and see where that ends. But I don't believe that crude is done yet, that this initial impulse, I don't believe is done yet. So I'm going to take this box off for now because that's irrelevant. So still more up. Gets a little tricky here because this 5th wave could be ending. So it's hard to, even though I think it's got to come up and break it more, if I'm wrong, I mean, the risk to reward way up here isn't good. I almost think you should wait for this 5th wave to end and wait for a bigger pullback and then play that last wave up. All right, copper. Go out to the 4-hour chart. So copper's getting a little bit interesting here. Came down a little bit farther than I thought. I thought they were just going to be making a strong leading diagonal. Oh, I got to change this. All right. And so, they came right into this sell zone and got rejected pretty hard. So I'm starting to wonder if this isn't a running flat. And it's very possible, and when I look at this now, it's possible this is 5 waves to right there. And if that's the case, it's possible that this is all a contracting flat. Hate those things. But if it's that, then copper could be going way down, because what I think was a correction, this whole 5-wave move, that could be a leading diagonal. This was A, B, C, and then so far now you got an impulse, 5-wave move down, 3-wave move correction, and now they're going to come back down. Now, I'm going to put this back for right now anyway, because the way I see, so far we just have 1, 2, 3 waves up. So that could be all the correction. But coming down, I'm going to zoom in here. It looks to me very much like we've got an impulse to there, correction, and it could be that there's another contracting flat right here, but correction to there, and then this doesn't look done yet. It looks like it has to come and break this low one more time. Probably not by much, but it should break it one more time, and then that'd be 3 waves, and then it'll be at that point that we got to see, because it either could be that was A, B, and then they still have one more up for a C wave, and then they're going to come down, or if I am right, and this is a flat correction over here, then it could be three waves. This is one. This three wave move will be two, and then they're going to go up in a three-way fashion to break that top. So I think this down wave is ending, and then it just gets really interesting, because if they just go up in a little, like a three wave, but then they come down, then I think this was all the correction, and now they're making like a diagonal to come down and break the low. So, you know, if you're not in the trade, if you wait to break that low, at least you're going to get a little three wave move up for sure. But it might not last, and it might be coming all the way down. So copper's in a tricky little spot right in here. This whole area actually is going to be a little tricky, because it could be there is just in a big massive correction for down, or like I said, this could be going all the way up in a like a leading diagonal. So it's right now I can't say either way, but it's tricky. But like I said, a short-term trade up, I like that. But once you start to see it rolling over, you might want to get out, because copper might be coming down. All right, gold. So gold, to me, it looks like we've got 5 waves down. And so I'm expecting a correction at least up into like 1923, 1929 at least. Up there, it looks like we're so far got like a 1-2. So it should get at least a 3, probably another correction, and then still one more up. But there should be a correction, and then still one more down to break that low. And then, now if I zoom out, there's a couple of things going on here that are in play. So this looks like 1, and then that could be 2, 1, 2, and then long ending diagonal 3. And then so far it looks like 1, 2, 3, which that could be 4 then. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So they could be making like a really, really big correction here. So if this, let me zoom in a little. So if this corrects and then comes down and takes out that low, then for sure, we'll have 5 waves, and this will be a big, massive leading diagonal, and then you're going to get a bigger correction up, and still one more down. Or this could be this 3 wave, that's W. This 3 wave was X, and this 3 wave is Y. And now we're just, if they stop short, or if they correct, break the low, but then they reverse and take out that high, then I like this as that's 1, that's 2, and then you'll come up like in 3 waves for 3, and then gold is up and on its way. So it's really going to be interesting. I think they're going to correct up and then come back out, take out that 1914, and then what happens after 1914 is broken again? Does it stall out somewhere and then reverse back up to take out 1952, or does it come down? So I think for a short-term trade, up is very doable. If you're bearish, I think anywhere up in that 1920s, 30s or so, there should be one more down, and then underneath here, that's anyone's guess. Then it could be coming all the way down, or just can do a quick reverse and come back up. Silver. All right, so silver, I've been looking at this to me, if I go out to a daily, it looks like this was all just a big leading diagonal, and now we're in this crazy correction here. And it looks, very much like we've got three waves there. And then you got three waves, and then there's three waves, and then there's another three wave. But you could see how they're getting contracting here. So I think this is going to end up to be a triangle for this whole correction. So, and we'll need five waves. So this is A, B, C, D, and then, it looks like there could be like right here, like a 1, 2, and a 3. And I would think silver might come down a little bit more like down to like 2261. Doesn't have to. It is in a contracting phase. So that'd be A, B, C, D, E, and then come up and take out that high. And then when it breaks that high, we'll have to see if this is all just a massive correction for one more down, or is it is this going to be creating a leading diagonal? So, because this can't be 2, but this could be like 1 for a leading diagonal going up, or could just be a big ABC. So I think for the short term, I think silver might come down just a little bit more, but I'd definitely be looking for buy setups, because if this plays out, that's going to be a really nice trade. Let me go all the way up to take out 26.12. That'd be a really nice trade. So this would be a good entry, and if I'm wrong, if 22.23 gets taken out, this isn't a triangle, and this is some other correction in play, and I don't know. I'd be getting a little worried. So I mean that's a pretty good place to have a stop loss. So if you can get it, like at 22 and somewhere in the 70s down here, like that's a really good risk to reward ratio. So I'd only be looking for a buy setup somewhere down in here, because that's a great option there. All right, uranium. All right, so uranium just keeps going up. And I was thinking that they were going to be creating a running flight, because this looked all very corrective in here. But now, when it's got really impulsive and it broke the top, when I relook at this, it looks like this is all an ending diagonal. So 1, 2, 3. Here was 3 waves to there. That's 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I had that wrong. This isn't. It can't be a diagonal. So this, to me, is still some type of correction, but I don't think it's done yet going up. I think it's going to come down maybe into this zone, 2409, 2357, and then still one more up. But you're not playing for a whole lot. So if you're not already in the buy, I'd wait, because I still think that this is just so choppy. It's some type of correction here, and I'm expecting a pretty decent pullback, because I think this is a 1 and a 2, and then like I think this is A, and I think this is all going to end up being like a B, wherever it is, whether the high is in right now at 24.92 or still one more up. But I think there's going to be one more sharp pullback before it goes back up, because this isn't a diagonal. I was thinking that it might be an ending diagonal, but this wave here, it makes it that it can't be. So that's why, if you're not already in the buy, I'd just wait for a healthy pullback, and and then start looking, so like somewhere down in this range, this 20 low 22s, I think it'll get back there, but it's going to get bought and then at least go up one more time to 24.92, and then we'll have to see when it breaks that what's going on. But yeah, I wouldn't play for this little bounce up, but I also wouldn't be shorting it. I'd only wait for a pullback and then look for the buy setup. All right, that's what I see on the commodities. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Good luck to you. See you in the next video.